I'm Brenda Bence, and welcome to Smarter Branding Without Breaking the Bank. By the end of this course, you will be a smarter brander, and I'm so excited to share with you a lifetime of learning about how to build brands effectively and inexpensively. When I graduated from business school, I decided to take a gamble, and I joined Procter & Gamble, building multi-million-dollar brands for Procter & Gamble across the United States, Europe, and Asia. And you've probably heard some of the brands: Pantene Pro V, Head & Shoulders, Vidal Sassoon, Tide, Cheer, Ariel. So brands like that, big brands, and I really learned what makes brands tick. And then, after 20 years in big corporations, I left and started my own company. I was so excited, but I also went from having very deep pockets to having, well, let's face it, fairly empty pockets. They weren't completely empty, but I had limited funds to invest in my brand, and I knew I had to spend them wisely. Now, I had to get smart about how to do that. So I took all those learnings that I'd gained from all those years of big brand management, and I applied it the best I could to building my own brand. Every day, I would uncover more and more ways I could build my brand using those same techniques, but without having to spend a lot of money. And that's how Smarter Branding Without Breaking the Bank was born. Now, I've conducted this course around the world, and I am thrilled to share it with you here today as well. Here they are, the 5 assets you already have that can build your brand or your business immediately, and it doesn't have to cost you hardly anything at all. Your first asset is your positioning. Yes, you already have one, and I'm going to explain how important it is to craft a unique and distinctive positioning in the marketplace. Second asset, your customers. We're going to talk about how they can be a fountain of ideas for how you can brand your business better. Number 3, your products or your services. We're going to talk about how to turn them into points of superiority, even if you don't think they're superior right now. Number 4, we're going to look at your team. Your team is a lot bigger than you probably think it is. We're going to talk about how to build and leverage that team to build that powerhouse brand we're focused on. And lastly, number 5, your competitors. I know, seems hard to believe, but your competitors can actually help you brand better. I also encourage you to look at the Smarter Branding Without Breaking the Bank Idea Treasure Chest, which is filled with proven no-cost or low-cost ideas to help you uncover even more customer needs. So we went out and researched a number of personal trainers, all right? They may be individual people working by themselves. They may be working with a group of people. We're going to show you how they've taken their service businesses and differentiated themselves enough in the marketplace to own a specific niche. The first one, Marv, he calls himself the fitness guru for the urban warrior. His specialty, he focuses on outdoor fitness, kind of like boot camp, if you would. The second one, they focus on mind and body training, not just your body, but your mind as well. A very different type of place to own in the market. The third one, this one's for women only. These are personal trainers that specialize in women's issues and women's physical health. 4, Michael George, he says he is the trainer to the stars. He's found a very unique place in the marketplace that he wants to focus. Here's Gannon Baker. Now Gannon, his specialty, he comes to your home and is a personal trainer for basketball. You see how each one of those is very different? Everyone, the word is everyone, is responsible for marketing in your organization. Even if you're a very small organization, we're going to show you how everybody you know can be part of your marketing team and is responsible for marketing your brand. We're going to dive deep into the third asset that you already have that can help you build a terrific brand, your products and your services. So during this session, you will get real about your brand's superiority or parity performance. Access 3 powerful ways to create a meaningful point of differentiation even if your product or your service isn't the best in class. You'll leverage 4 powerhouse credibility boosters that can turn average customers into brand loyalists. You'll learn from dozens of real-life brand examples, and you'll develop a complete inventory of your brand's strengths and weaknesses, both from your perspective and from that of your customers. So here's a question for you. Do you know who your competitors are? You may say to me, Brenda, of course I know. But do you really? That's my question. Take a European candy manufacturer who saw consistent drops in their teen sales. In other words, sales of candy with teens. So they did research to find out what was going on, and actually what they uncovered was pretty eye-opening. They realized that their biggest competitor was actually a cell phone company. Seems hard to believe, but actually what was going on is teens who used to get their limited money and spend it on candy Now suddenly we're using it on texting each other, texting friends, right? So never underestimate the power of knowing who your competition really is. So what is brand character? I like to think of it as the personality of your brand, or perhaps the attitude, the overriding temperament of your brand. Now it really helps differentiate brands that are otherwise seen as pretty similar. Let's take an example of these two brands, Coke and Pepsi. Which one do you prefer? Isn't it amazing how we choose one over the other, when in fact, if you think about what's inside of these products, it's essentially the same thing. Why do we prefer one over the other? I believe it's brand character. Here's an example of how Pepsi's tried to really leverage their more hip and trendy character versus Coke. I think you'll see what I mean.
Rock and roll is okay, but I prefer rap.
Let's do an exercise. I want you to come up with some ideas to get your customers to refer business to you. There's a worksheet in the workbook called Customers Referral Worksheet. And as you do this, I want you to picture one person in your mind. This is your very best customer. The customer who, if you could clone them 100 times, you would have a thriving business. You know who I'm talking about. Keep that person in your mind, turn to the worksheet, pause the video, and brainstorm ideas. Well, now you've got hundreds of ideas between the ideas listed in the workbook and the ideas that you've been writing down on your ideas and action sheet template. So now it's time to make the tough choices. What are the most impactful activities that you could do to build your brand and make your brand stronger in the marketplace? Change perception, expand your volume opportunities, get your consumers or customers to see your brand in a different way. That's how you take a bite out of competition.